Whew. Hey, what a journey. Honestly, it is November 2020 and I'm sitting here in my new gym. It's so crazy to say. If you would ask me, actually funny enough, New Year's, I just looked back at my list that I made New Year's Eve for 2020, and absolutely not one thing that I predicted for this year happened, but a whole bunch of shit I didn't predict happened, AKA, pandemic, the world just falling apart. But then in all of that chaos, all these pieces just kind of came together, and it was almost like it took complete chaos for complete stillness for me to really see things that I couldn't see when I was moving at my normal life pace. So many valuable lessons and perspectives and insight and introspective work. And I started a blog. That was the first thing. I was like, you know what? Like, I love writing, and I'm like, I need to start getting this all on paper again. So Body by Me method, my brand blossomed out of, the complete chaos and finding that solitude. One day I was like, literally a month ago, I was training clients in parks, social distanced, following everything, trying to make the best with 2 dumbbells and a few bands and a wagon, Q wagon.
Huh?
And it hit me, and I was like, I don't want to be the product of circumstance anymore. I don't like that feeling. I can create my own circumstance. Like, we might not have control of a lot of things. In fact, we don't. But end of the day, we have control over the most important thing, which is us. The bubble is not where they're keeping us, away from people or indoors due to COVID. The bubble is your energy and your space that you create, your life. You can curate it. And I finally realized it. And I was like, well, it's in my hands. What do I want? How can I create my energy and my environment to be the best possible environment it can be for me to continue to grow despite anything else that goes on? And I was like, I'm gonna get a gym. One day I made a wrong turn on a street and I saw a space, and I was like, that's my gym. That's it. Keep in mind, me saying this, I did not necessarily have the means. Being an immigrant in this country, everything's set up for you to actually fail and not be able to obtain ownership. So this whole system in this country is to get you trapped in it, not to be able to be out of it and have ownership and create your own system. I don't do well when people try to tell me I can't. In fact, I do then the opposite. I'm like, bet. So I will now. Step 1, I knew I had to manifest the shit out of getting it, because didn't have the means. So I had to manifest, because there's no way that if I just told myself I don't have the means and this isn't possible, that I was then going to actually achieve it. I had to change everything in my thought process to it was already mine. So I actually went onto Amazon and I bought a pull-up rack. And I knew it was big enough. I couldn't put it in my apartment, so I couldn't get comfortable and be like, well, I can just have it here. That was a gym thing. I bought it and I was like, I can't return this. I told myself I can't return this. The only thing I can do is get a gym to put it in. And that's my gym. It sat in my apartment in the box, very much so in the way, like, I wanted it to be uncomfortable. I wanted to feel uncomfortable, so I would do everything in my power to move towards that. It was in my way. It was at the door. It was heavy as shit. I couldn't even carry it myself. Every single day I did something, either gut something or design something like a logo. I did something like the gym was already mine. I applied for it, denied, applied, denied. And I actually started to then for a second believe maybe it wasn't for me. Maybe this is the universe being like, this isn't for you. And it was one of my clients who I consider a close friend that was like, girl, you actually gonna start believing this madness? No, this is yours. You're gonna get it. I didn't accept no, so I got it. I'm gonna cry. Wow. I get the keys on my 7th year anniversary in LA. I have been through so much since I moved here, and now it's all making sense why. I got it. I said it, I did it, I got it. Still actually have, at the point of getting it, no idea how any of it was going to be figured out. Equipment, building it, any of these things. I just kept treating it as though I already had it figured out. Because everything has a way of figuring itself out. My line I say is everything is figure-outable. If you truly, wholeheartedly believe that it is yours and it's supposed to be. You see, you can't have faith and fear at the same time. So you can't want something, but then also be afraid of not having it or losing it or being rejected, all that. It's one or the other. You can't be on both sides. That's actually like impossible. So I wholeheartedly believed in it happening so much that I actually didn't even have a plan of it happening. And I'm like the most OCD type A plan person. So being able to be in this place of my life and truly like embody that is such growth for me. Like I can preach stuff all day on Instagram, but application is a different story. And we're human. It's easier to preach than to practice, right? So for me, I actually was at peace not knowing necessarily the hows. I just knew it would. And I think if you take anything away from my story in this is that. Don't get so caught up in how. Be solely invested in it will. It is. It's done. That obviously I had to do things on a budget. Amazon, shout out to you. Building a couple things at a time. I dedicated day and night. Still on top of, FaceTime training people, still going to people, still, making everything work. I'm not a handy person, but when you don't have a choice and all you got is you figure it out. Between YouTube and Home Depot employees, shout out to you. I figured it out. I'm actually kind of handy now, I'm not gonna lie. If you need to book me for work, and this was the process of working my butt off for 5 days to build it. Actually, day 6, I came to the gym to drop off some more stuff, and something just didn't feel right when I drove up. Something felt off. The door looked off. I walked up to it and literally my worst nightmare happened. So day 6, update. Not the update that I wanted to give today. Everything that was in here that they could take, they took. Super defeated. Because it's like I'm building this from scratch and like from my own money. I've been working like day in, day night, day in, day out. Can't even make sense right now. To make this exactly how I look, and then someone just
I'm just can't let this stop me. One thing at a time and just rebuild. I've never had to rebuild something while I was building it. It's just really heartbreaking. And I know like these things are all possibilities when you have a business, but you don't think in the first week. I've overcome way worse. So, just a test.
I think like the hardest part of that was you just feel so helpless and violated. And I truly, as part of my language, fucked up as this world is, believe that there are enough good people to outweigh the bad people, and that love will always prevail. Evil shall not prosper. I really do believe that, but in those moments, it really questions that feeling. And like, I never like want to doubt the good. And that made me doubt the good hard. And it hurt, because this isn't just a business. This isn't just a gym. Like, this is literally, this is 7 years for me. I've been a trainer for 11. Like, this is all my failures. This is all my hard work. This is all my successes. This is my money. This is mine. And even if someone takes food off your plate, you're kind of like, what? That a violation. So to feel that level of being violated in that moment, you're so vulnerable, and like, I mean, you could see it. Like, I just felt defeated. I dusted myself off, cleaned up everything, wiped my tears, and honestly said to myself, I have not come this far to only come this far. Like, this isn't my story. I have been through so much worse in my life. I've had people steal from me in an emotional sense, in a literal sense. I've experienced it on every level that I've learned ultimately you can't actually take from me. Like, I am built so strong through everything that you can't take away me. And that was when I was like, I have to rebuild. Like, there's in this moment, put all the emotions aside, there's only one thing that it comes down to. You rebuild. That's exactly what I did. In 48 hours, literally, like, not even sleeping, and I rebuilt. Crazy part is sometimes you need the breakdown to rebuild, because the way I rebuilt is so strong. I'm stronger and smarter. Everything levels you up, everything. When you know that when all else fails, your determination won't, you always gonna be good. You always gonna be good. We here. Body by me method. We may fall, but we get our asses back up. With social media, with my blog, and with this space, I have one thing I'm so determined to do, and I truly believe is my purpose, that I am so aligned with, that nobody can tell me otherwise. And it's to curate spaces of good energy. And I know that's what I can do from the bottom of my heart, the bottom of my soul. That's what's in me, to give that. So this space, it doesn't even matter what was tried, because it didn't prevail. This space is nothing but good energy in these four walls. This is a space that I know my clients can truly feel safe in to become their best selves. This space only accepts success. This space only elevates you. This is a space of evolution, and nothing else can even exist in here. And that's exactly what we're about to do.